Hi, I'm Notyetdead in name and in nature, and welcome back to South Mountain Creamery. So yeah, I've done a few small things since the last video. Welcome back. I've cultivated field 29, you know, the little field up a little way away from the farm. I've cultivated that with the Deutz, put the Deutz back down. I've also put the cultivator and the plough in a different storage place for now. We'll see that in a minute. Mainly because we've got these three fields to do, so I thought it made sense to keep them close. And I've also, as you can see, we've got the Goma tank that we bought in the last episode, and also, as I talked about, I was a little bit worried about the weight that would be on the front of it when that was full, so luckily my idea worked. So I've put the Massey Ferguson 2.5 ton weight on the back. I'm a little bit worried about the amount of weight now on this tractor, but it seems to be coping alright. I put that on the back, put the slurry tanker on the back of that and hooked it up, and it's worked well. I'd be very concerned if these are slopey fields, but they're not. They're reasonably flat, so we should be okay. It's a nice dry day. So we will get, oh, and one other thing. If you look at that on the left hand side, the level indicator did actually go up as I was filling it, which is just brilliant. Such a good job. So anyway, so we'll get, I thought we'd try slurrying the bigger, well, one of the bigger ones of these three fields and just see how we get on. Because actually if it works well, then it's probably cheaper than using fertilizer. And you know, we can start thinking about, we talked briefly about, you know, going organic and everything else, so we can start thinking about whether that's a practical possibility. It would need some new equipment and perhaps some new ways of doing things, but you know, it might be helpful to try and, while we're still building up the cows to get our own manure and slurry, it might be helpful to see if we can identify a source of manure nearby that we could perhaps use, so we can start manuring and slurrying the fields at different growth stages, etc. Now that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Turning circle. But yeah, so I thought we'd try this, just see how it goes. See how much it needs. If it only needs a couple of trips back and forth, that's not too bad. It's a big field, it's quite a funny shape. Go back a little bit. So yeah, so there's still plenty to do. We've got these three fields to prepare, so that means we've got fields 9 and 29 are both ploughed, slurried and cultivated. Then we've got these three fields that all need slurrying or fertilising in some form or other. It's like missing the edges, it's a slight funny shaped field. And then they need ploughing and cultivating, and all 5 fields then need seeding or planting anyway, depending on what we're going to put in them. We've also got to fertilise our pasture. I might, if this experiment goes well, mind you, we're going to get through a lot, aren't we? If this experiment goes well, we might think about doing it with slurry, because it's still really short, so we could do, or for now might just put chemical fertilisers on that. Wow, yeah, we're going to get through an awful lot of this in really quick time. I've started with the biggest, which is actually a bit of a silly thing to do. I probably should start with the smallest, and it's quite tricky because of the shape of the field, and actually because we've got an extra, you know, but there's the weight now between the tractor and the tanker, so it's a bit longer as well. It's a bit more tricky to get the spacings right, get the timings right for the movement without moving it too far off the edge but not cutting too much off. Yeah, not even going to get around it once. Maybe we won't. Certainly means I'm not going to do the grass fill with this, because that would mean going back and forth so often. Still, at least down here we're actually quite close to the animal market where we buy our slurry. That's a bit of a bonus. It's not too far to go back and forth to fill it up. I just want to pull across the road slightly cheekily, switch it off. So we have just about... Yeah, so you can see that marker started to move down now. That's really cool. So now we're on the expansion tank. That's really quite good. Might be easier to do this by boxing off into different shapes, I suppose, perhaps. It's quite a funny shaped field. Might eventually think about ploughing these together, I guess, but for right now, probably more important that we have small amounts of different things. Yeah, that's now really light and at a funny angle, so it's going to corner quite funny. It's going to turn. So maybe it would make sense to do this bottom bit of the field. It's nice and square. In fact, we'll do that. So I'm going to go all the way up this edge and make this into a squarer shape. If I've got enough. Have I got enough to do it? Just nicely. And I'll do this bottom bit first. See how much we've got. Oh, there we go, that was that. Right, so we'll run this back down, refill it. I think I'll do this field with slurry. I might use the chemical, might use the fertiliser spreader on the other two and on the grasslands, the pasture. Try and get all those fertilised. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do all that, and I'm not saying that I'll do it all today either. In fact, what we could do doing, so we'll get this back down to the animal market. Can't drive it like that, can't see. I was slightly worried it was going to affect my visibility. But yeah, so while we're filling this up, actually, we can have a quick look at the calendar for seasons. No, I just can't see it. Yeah, I'm slightly worried about driving too far away because you can't see through the trees too. Select the front tank. Now we'll get in to do this. Watch this. Check the needle on the left. Gradually see it going up. That's just brilliant, isn't it? What a great design feature. And that should be that full, pretty much. There we go. That's that one. Select the back tank. Right, so while we're waiting for that to fill. Okay, so we're still in the first day of spring. So we could sow wheat, we could sow our barley in field 9. We could sow some canola, and we can plant the potatoes in field, that's field 29, isn't it? So we can do all that. That's actually quite good. Maybe we'll sow one of the other fields, the other 3 fields, with some wheat. Might do one as corn, so we'll have to do that. That'll have to be tomorrow or the day after, so that we can start building up another silo. Make sure we're keeping up with that. And then I suppose the other thing to think about would be prices. Actually, it's not a bad price for canola at the moment. Maybe we should sell some. Better keep an eye on that price for corn at Goldcrest, because actually if that goes up to green, even if it's not a great demand, we've got a lot of corn and it will be worth selling. But the best prices, sunflowers, interesting. So let's do a field of sunflowers and a field of corn. A field of wheat, a field of barley is going to keep us in straw for a very long time. Corn will keep us topping up the silage. Start a new silo off. Soybeans is tempting, but actually the sunflower price is way higher. So at least we're doing a crop that's going to get us some good price. And sunflowers we can plant from tomorrow. In fact, according to this, the soil temperature is already high enough. But I think, you know, we're not in a rush. We can give it a day. Let's not risk it. So we can get the wheat going in. Oh, sorry, the barley. So we're trying to get the barley planted today, but at the same time, worth getting at least one of those other fields ploughed and cultivated, so that it's ready for, you know, corn and sunflowers tomorrow or the day after. Basically, we've got everything. Everything's got to be planted over the next 3 days. Potatoes have got to be done in the next 2. So if actually we're going to plant anything first, that's probably the slightly higher priority. Well, that will take that long. I did think, of course, also that we're going to lease. You know, it's a bit of an experiment. We haven't got a lot of money, so we'll lease the planter for the potatoes, and I'll have to judge how much we'll need to plant that field up, and I will get it wrong. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe if we've got some left, that perhaps we'll put potatoes in the bottom end or top, you know, a section of one of those fields. We don't have to section it off specifically. We could just do it the way I've just done the slurry, you know, just go straight up one of the lines and just, or perhaps this little bottom section of this field here, something like that. So that if we bought the seed potatoes, we're not wasting them. Could turn out the demand is high enough, or we could just sell any that we've got left to, you know, at a sell point or something. So that was another thought I had. Well, I may as well carry on up this way. So I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do this, so perhaps I will carry on with this. Maybe we'll get a worker doing the rest of it, but of course I'll have to keep coming and filling it up. And we'll look at what else needs doing. Right, so that's field 20, is it 28 done? Yeah, 28, and I had a little bit left over, so I've done the top end of field 26. So they've now got first fertilisation state, so, and it took about, I don't know, 5-6 trips back and forth. It was a lot. So yeah, I'm not sure we'll be using the slurry necessarily for those fields. For now, when we can afford a bigger slurry tanker, maybe we start getting, you know, an amount of slurry of our own, then maybe we can reconsider, but for right now it's too big a job for it. So couple of other things to do. I had a thought while we were doing that actually I could get a grassland harrow for the pasture, and that would give us our next level of fertilisation. So need to check with the store. It'd be under weeders, won't it? Because I thought about getting a weeder, but it's actually quite an expensive piece of equipment. I mean, the in-game one's got 12 metre spread. I mean, it's lovely and wide, but yeah, it's 34,000. It's really expensive. I've got this one, which I haven't used before, actually, the Agro Mass. It's a mulch harrow intended for mixing crop residues with soil. Either as a mulch harrow or a weeder. Double fertilisation. Okay, interesting. Sounds like a cultivator then, sort of. I don't know. Strange. Anyway, that's a 7.5 metre width, but it's still 27,000. Or there's this one. It's only a 5 metre width, but it is specifically a grassland harrow, so I think using it on the pasture makes sense. And actually, it's only $1,500. It's a pretty decent price, so I think I quite like it in green. I think it looks good. I think we'll get that. I'll have that delivered. And I think, actually, I'll leave the hurleyman out because it would make sense to use this tractor for that. So I'll leave this just here for now, and then when it's been delivered, we can just nip over the road and get it. It'll be a pain and park it across some of the public parking spaces, but... and the Deutsch is just around there. Just thought we'd come and have a look at our logs. Oh, it looks like we've sold some. Great. It's good that they're starting to go. That's very strange. Got a ghost there. Oh, there you go. Cool, this keeps cropping up, this gold stuff. Interesting. Right, oh, see that didn't work very well, did it? Press the wrong button to open the door, so I closed it instead. But anyway, slight snag of putting a tractor right on the other side of the door, I suppose. So this could be a little bit tricky. It's not a lot of space. And actually, I hadn't really thought about it. Whilst this is close to the field, can I get through? So does that gate there actually open? Oh yeah, okay. So just being very careful of my swing arc with the plough on the back. Just about get through there, lovely. Just park that there a sec. There we go. We do need to go through one more gate, but not too bad. So yeah, so this field is going to take a while. I'm going to have to think about the sizes of these fields and which one I want to use for what. I'm not sure we need so much straw, given that we've got field 9 as well, that we'll put barley in, that we want to put wheat in this one. So I might use this for either sunflowers or corn. Might use this one for the corn actually. And I'm literally just going to go to work on this and see how they go. I can always come and tidy up later. I know you'd normally do the headlands first, but we'll do that. Slightly strange, can't seem to close the gate. Oh, there we go. Oh wow, really? Oh, okay, no, that's fine, because it's a slight slope. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, so that is fine. Good. We'll leave him doing that. Hello, cows. Watch out, gonna come weed your grass in a minute. Right, let's go see if that harrow's been delivered. What else do we need to... Oh, potatoes. Potatoes will be under sewing machines. We only need the little Grimmy. 2,740 litres. I'm going to see if 2,000 will be enough. So I'll have to go down to the store to do it. But, so what's that? 21,000. So how much is it to lease? 1,800. That's not too bad. A couple of pallets. What are they? 1,000 each. 900 each. Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I reckon 2 of those, but I will have to actually go down to the store to do that, so I can fill it up. I don't have, well, I have to, you know, either way I've got to go and get them, so may as well just go and fill it up down there. I suppose I might need the Deutsch to do that actually, because that Grimmy, mind you, actually, do I? I can always put a weight on the front of the hurleyman. So I'm lost the plot. What am I doing? Oh yes, sewing machines. Grimmy needs 120. Oh, remind me. Yeah, so we'll need the Deutsch to do that, but that's fine. Anyway, let's go check up on that harrow. Right, so yeah, Harrow's not there just yet, but I have just thought actually. So I'll jump out. So we could go field 29, field 9, sorry. Field 9, because the Deutz is busy on field 28, so we can't put the potatoes in field 29 yet, but we could actually, with the hurlerman, go and put the barley in field 9. At least we could if I remember. Oh yes, I know. I was going to say we could if I remember what I'd done with the cedar. So yeah, I might do that while waiting for that harrow to be delivered. Still plenty of jobs to do, so it's not a big deal. Always very busy around here. That's good footfall in the shop. Right, so yeah, the cedar is just around here in the workshop. There's a lot of storage on this map. I must get to grips with all the storages on this map, start reorganising everything a bit, but for now we're okay. Slightly funny angle to come in at. So I couldn't remember whether this cultivated as well, and it does. So I might need a front weight, but of course I don't, because it's got supporting wheels. Ooh. Which don't appear to want to turn. Okay, maybe I can't do the seeding with this. Interesting. But it's got the power output, doesn't it? Got the garage. 88 horsepower. Cedar. 100. Yeah, so it's pushing it a bit actually. Yeah, maybe we can't do this. Perhaps we will have to wait. Oh, come on. For some reason, the wheels at the back aren't moving. They're not rotating. Just going to put that slurry tank on the front. Wow, this really is strange. I'm on the wrong side of the road. Can't turn it. It's like we might start to struggle unless we get... Oh my goodness me, this is no good. Oh, hang on. Now, when we bought that Massey, did we not... This is ridiculous. The wheels just will not turn at all. I don't know what's up. Right, I'm going to leave that there. That's just not good at all. So, when we bought the Massey, did we not upgrade it so it's got a bit more oomph? Oomph, it's a technical term. Yep, it's 95. I think that should do. I think we'll swap. We'll give the hurlerman a rest. And we'll swap. And we'll use the Massey. Which I've already put the front weight on. I'm assuming, like I said, it's only two-wheel drive, but it's got a bit more power. So hopefully it'd be good to get some use out of it. I wasn't thinking I'd keep it just as a yard tractor. I thought I might be able to do some smaller jobs with it as well. In fact, I could also do that harrowing with it, but the hurlerman doesn't seem to be able to use this, so it could be. Does that feel a bit better? Yeah, that feels better. Isn't that strange? Because it didn't even feel like it was lifting the I've actually finally got a tractor with a beacon. It didn't really feel like it was lifting the front wheels off the ground. It just wasn't turning at all with that. And although the power was a bit low, you'd kind of think it would be able to pull it even if it can't sow with it. You know, you could kind of see it not being able to sow. But anyway, it's all good. So in that case, I wasn't going to get a work on this, but we could do See how we get on with the Massey doing this. It's going alright. Seems quite controlled. See how it does going up the hill. But I mean, you know, the Deutz impressed me. Yeah, it's slowing down a little bit, but it's not too bad. The Deutz impressed me yesterday. Well, and this morning again earlier. Yesterday. Last episode. And again, it wasn't yesterday, it was a few days ago. And again, earlier when I did field 29, just before I came on. Seems alright. Yeah, I might get a worker on it. Struggling a little bit uphill. Little bit of wheel slip. But needs must. The Deutz can't do absolutely every job around the farm. I don't particularly want to upgrade tractors just yet. I wonder if the slope is slightly less severe if the worker goes across the field rather than up and down. Actually, I mean, it's going. It's doing the job. Plenty of seed, plenty of fertiliser, so it'll do this field nicely. There we go. Right. Sorry, leave her to that. I think that'll be okay. How's it looking on the map? Looking alright. God, it's going to take a long time for that worker to plough that field. Goodness me. Yep, that's looking okay. And I've got a bit of edge, I'll have a bit of edge work to do. Crikey. Oh well, needs must. We want the yield, so... Right. Let's go see if that Harrow's turned up. Well, there it is. God, I'm not actually sure I've used this before. I was very keen on it when it came out, but I haven't actually. I think at the time I was in Spectacle Island and it was just too small. That does look really cool. Right, let's go give it a go. Okay, so I'll just pick up the Hurleman. I just have a quick look at ploughs, but I don't really have anything. I mean, unless I get something that needs 180 horsepower, I can't really get anything that's much bigger than what I've got. 180 I could just, yeah, it was the closest I thought I could get. I mean, thinking about it, the you know, the Amazon Catros, the cultivator that we've got, needs 180, and the Düvelsdorf pulled that perfectly, so it could potentially cope with the slightly bigger plough, but you know, still a little bit of a risk. I'm just thinking how long it's going to take to plough those fields, but oh, it'll get done. Then attach it on this side. Oops. Right, fewest gates to access the pastures, probably around this way. Wait for the traffic. Actually, I just realised as well, I should quite surprised it's still there, to be honest, but I suppose it's not really rotted down yet because we've only been on seasons for a day. There's that little bit of overspill. I need to come and clear up the cows again. That little bit of overspill on that silo. Now we've got the Massey with the bucket, I could, yeah, well, it's taken a while, but he's doing a good job. That is going to take a long time though. Yeah, I've just cleaned that overspill, put it in the next silo. No, don't want to get too close because this Helper G has completed their task. Oh, of course, that's the Massey. Because it's got a slope. Whoa, ouch. It's got a slope on the field. This trigger's a bit weird. You have to be right next to the gate post to open the gate, but never mind. Push it all the way back. It's got a long swing, that one. But anyway. There it comes. Nice to see cows back in the pasture. Probably ought to think about getting some more, really. To be a bank loan job, but... Right, so I've never used this before. Let's give it a go. Again, this is going to take some time too. Quite some time, but... needs must. Going dark, so it looks like it's working. There's a great animation behind it, just picking up that thatch. Right, let's try and get as close into the corner. Lift it up. That animation is just fantastic. It looks really good. I like this. But yeah, it's going to be some job. Just make sure on the map that we are... Yep, though it looks like it's missing a bit, which is a bit strange. We're not quite as close to the edge as I thought we were. Not that I'll be able to mow right up to the edge, so it's not too big a deal. You can see where I mowed. I suppose I did mow quite a bit of it. It does have a little bit of overlap. Oh, or is it because there's grass on the other side? Is that what it's showing me? Yeah, maybe that's it. If the grass goes all the way up to the edge of the road, actually I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. Oops. It's actually quite effective, the darkening when you harrow, because it's kind of what it would look like. You know, if you go over a... Oh, wow, how far did this field go? Because I didn't come this far with the mower last time. That's not my field, right? I've gone over the edge. It's not officially field, I mean, it's mine. But yeah, because if you, you know, if you've ever, I don't know, used a, I forget, the scarifier, isn't it, it's called, on a lawn, then, that's kind of what it does as it goes through, because it's pulling out the loose or dead grass. It does go darker, so it's actually quite effective. when you're weeding or harrowing or something like that, a grass field, to go dark like that looks actually quite good. It's going to give us some idea of the scale of it. I was going to do this as a time lapse, but even then I think it'd be too long. Yeah, it's huge. So another job we also need, so as well as the potatoes, which I kind of want to get in today if I can. Today as in this day. It's 2:45 in the afternoon now, so we've got a bit of time, but not lots of time. May have to stop that ploughing if we're getting towards the end of the day and he's not finished. I think that'll be the next episode now. Also need to think, of course, so when I did some work in other fields for other farmers before the winter, doing that harvesting, George the farmer mentioned to me that he'd got some trees he wanted removing at the edge of some fields, so it might be a bit of an investment. Yeah, which I suppose either I lease for now until I've got the money to buy, or I just get a bank loan and buy outright. I might need a bit of a bank loan to get some more cows anyway, so we could just extend it enough to get some basic forestry equipment. All I'm thinking is I'd want that I would chip it on the field. It keeps the mess that you make down. So just fell a tree, cut it into chunks, chuck it in a wood chipper, put it in a trailer and take it away. So I could do that. I need to think about that, because actually best time to do that is the wood prices will be at their best about now, and they'll certainly start dropping once the temperature starts going up. So I do need to think about getting that done actually, because he said he's quite happy for me to get the money for the wood, so I'll sort of do it as a freebie for him, but I'll take the wood and get paid that way, which is all good. Which means, to maximise how much I get out of it, I need to do it when the wood prices are good. So I kind of need to think about that, actually. So does that mean, rather than me sitting here doing this, maybe that's what we should do? Not that we've got that much time left this episode, but I could get all the kit, get it ready. Oops. And have a work on this, because actually it would pay for my workers getting that, and getting a better price to cover the cost of my workers. Yeah, he's not going to finish that ploughing today, is he? Let's face it. But yeah, maybe we'll do that. That's quite funny, you picked me up because I was on the other side of the fence. That wasn't what I was going to do. I was going to do this. Wood chips. Actually, we've already missed the best price, but there's quite a significant drop between today and tomorrow. Prices. Wood chips. $3.54. It's not a high price, it's not a low price, but there's a chance it's going to drop. And does that match? Yeah, see, already that's lower than what last year's prices would imply. I think that's what these prices are. Yeah, I think if I'm going to do that, I need to do that, don't I? Okay. Well, I'll finish going around the edge. There'll be more work for me to do on this. There'll be some tidying up. It's the field's at a funny angle, so the workers go across it in a really strange, a really funny angle. So I think we will do that. I trust the work to not hit the cows. Let's hope so, right? There we go. That's one circuit. So I'll take the worker down to this bottom corner. I'll take the track down this bottom quarter, and we'll put a worker on it. See which way he goes. I'm going to line it up as if I was going to do it, and I just went straight at the edge. Yeah, he's going to do something funny. Well, as long as he manages to turn himself around, it's all fine. Which he is doing. So yeah, so I'm going to have to come and do a bit of edge work, but that's alright, that's okay. Good that I went round though. Needed those headlands just to get the space. Cool. Okie dokie. Oh, right. Of course, what I lack is a tractor. Oh well, let's see what we do. So I've come back up to field 9 to see about getting the work sorted out, and it did nowhere near as much as I thought. So I'm wondering if it was just struggling with going uphill with the cedar and the Massey, which is kind of weird because you'd think as it got lighter it would actually find it easier, but never mind. So never mind. I'm going to do this myself. I think we've actually come to the end of the episode, and I was just, of course, just as I was leaving the pasture, I realised that actually we were going to struggle to do any forestry while all the tractors were busy. So I've got to free up a tractor. It's going to be a bit of a struggle till we can get some money in the farm. So yeah, so I will finish sowing this field. We'll get that done. We'll leave the two workers doing what they're doing. Actually, that ploughing's going quite quickly. Now we're doing less turns and it's getting bigger over on field 28. So yeah, getting a bit of a wheel slip again up here. There we go. Oh, and I forgot to sew it on. No, switch it on. Never mind. Anyway. So yeah, so he's starting to speed up. So I'm going to give it an hour or two, get them to finish, hopefully. And then we'll have a tractor. Next episode, we can look at doing the potatoes. Oh, wow. Yeah, this really is a no then, isn't it? I'm slightly worried that we've got way too much work to do and not enough powerful tractors. May need to make some investment. Which is a bit of a problem. Anyway, I'll have a think. But yeah, so we'll do that. We'll get those two workers, see how far they get on. But before the end of today, so in the next episode, we will be planting potatoes without a doubt. And I think probably trying to get some of those trees cut down for George, while we can still make some good money from it. So yeah, lots to do still. But I do want to get some of these fields planted, sown, because we've still got lots more to do, and you know, we can't afford to invest in the big equipment yet, but it looks like we might need to invest in some more powerful tractors. So yeah, a bit of a problem. I'm going to have a think, have a chat with the farm, and we'll see what we can do. But anyway, we've come to the end of an episode, as I said. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet and you would like to, please feel free to do so. And yeah, give me any comments, any thoughts. Always great to hear. Spread the word. Be great to get some more people on the channel. Otherwise, I'll look forward to welcoming you back to South Mountain Creamery very soon. Bye bye for now.